The Game Social has released the new Battlescroll Andtor the 6th July 2023. This is in combination with the release of the new General Handbook 23-24 that it come back to be lasting 1 year, so quite interesting, and also the Dawnbringers. So here we can find some information about, and it's quite interesting because this is associated to the new General Handbook, as I said, that it's related mainly about magic and about with this Battlescroll, the Dawnbringers, so we can find these other two add-in. Sincerely, about the Dawnbringers, I'm going to bring you the book, at least the book 1 for sure, because I'm quite interested about the background of such. I'm still thinking about if to buy the General Handbook 23-24, but I think that in the future I'll buy. Still, for now, I'm still doubting about this, but I want to bring you this new Battlescroll, so now we can go to see about such things. And I had the Battlescroll Andtor. This see some things that has been remaining the same compared to the previous one, and other that has been changed. So I'll bring all the things together so that you have a single referral to go to see about. There will be also the points. About the points, I suggest you to take your time, download these Battlescroll and study them, because based on your army can be changed quite a lot. I'll make an analysis for some of the armies, but not all of them. So the first thing that we can see, it's about the unit currency that make an important change, and it's about, before it was a unit was with 2 to 5 models, now it is 2 to 6 models, and then that has to be in the one to be within 1 inch and 6 vertical inch. Instead, it has, before it was more than 5 models, now it is more than 6 models that has to create the ribbon for other 2 models instead of 1. So pay attention, because this it's quite an important change, and you have to pay attention about such change because it's really quite important. About the rally, it remained the same that we have seen before, so you have to change this in the way that you can only return models to that unit that have a combined wound statistic of 10 or less. Remember about such. For example, if the unit that received the command has a wound statistic of 2, you can return a maximum of models of 5 to that unit. So it means that if you have, for example, models that has 3 wound characteristic, maximum is 3. If 4, it's 2, and even if it's 5, it's 2. So pay attention, because it can change quite a lot the way that you can use rally, even if it's still quite amazing one. They had the Lookout Sir that remain the same about almost all, but with a specific detail about being not mounted. So still you must subtract 1 from the hit roll for an attack made with a missile weapon if the target is an enemy hero within 3 inches of an enemy unit that has 3 or more models, as before. If that hero does not have a mount, with the exception of companions, here it's an important to distinguish, we remember about such. It also cannot be targeted by attacks made by missile weapon if the attacking model is more than 12 inches away from them. This it's completely changed the way that you can work with about the shooting on the heroes. So if you're going to target them, this is something that you have to remember. The Lookout Sir rule does not apply if the enemy hero has a wound statistic of 10 or more, as usual, so it's not a problem. We have seen also a change about the Universal Artifact of Power, Arcane Tome. We have seen a change before, now changed again. So hero that does not have the Wizard, Priest or Corn keyword can take this artifact. The bearer become a wizard that can only cast the Arcane Bolt, the Mystic Shield and spells to summon end spells on your army roster. This is quite important. They can attempt to cast 1 spell in your hero phase and attempt to unbind 1 spell in the enemy hero phase. The designer note, as usual, make that when using the Pitch Battle Profile 23-24, that is the new one, Battle Book in the General Handbook, if a hero with a wound statistic of 9 or less is given the Arcane Tome, it gains the Andorian Locus keyword. This is specific only for the new General Handbook. So this is an added that it's new. So it's really quite interesting. So it's something that for the first part of the change, it was understandable, because sincerely are the basic magic that can be cast, and the endless pass, if it is a wizard, you can assign them, so it's not a problem. Still better that it's explained in such a way. And then we can go to see about the change about the Grand Alliance Chaos and the Grand Alliance Death, but we see also the other ones, because we see also here something really quite intriguing to pay attention about. About the Grand Alliance Chaos, we have a change about the Blades of Corn, so change the Murderlust reward ability of the Blood Tide table with pick one friendly Blades of Corn unit that is more than 3 inch from all enemy units. That unit can make a d6 move and it can finish that move within 3 inch of any enemy unit, so it can arrive in close combat technically. You can spend Blood Tide points on this reward up to 3 times at the end of each hero phase instead of only once. But you cannot pick the same unit to benefit from this ability more than once per phase. It's really quite intriguing about this. And I have the part about the Grand Alliance Death that we see as seen a same about the Flesh Eater Curse, so make that the Flesh Eater Curse as a word of 6+. Sincerely hope that the new Battletome will arrive soon, because they need some update. But remember that has been released also a new character that is in the box, the Mercenary of Renown, related with the Dawnbringers. Eventually you can see about them. And then we can see a change about the Soulblight Gravelords, about the Endless Legion, so that we have to pay attention about this. And the change is something that it's not so great, but it's quite important. In fact, not mind if it's the summonable unit, it's not a hero or a hero. They both have seen such change. The change is that it's still that the unit that you summon back must be set up wholly within 12 inch of a friendly Soulblight Gravelords hero or Grey Sight and more than 3 inch from all enemy units. But if it is your turn, the new add-in is this: if it is your turn or more than an inch if it is the enemy turn. This is quite important because it changes the way that you can approach, because it means that you can create the screen, for example, for all other units that you can have in your turn, because you can be more than 3 inch, but quite close anyway to the enemy. About the screening available for the enemy, in the case that it's the opponent turn, now it's not anymore available, because you have the limit to be more than an inch from it if it's your opponent turn. So you have to pay attention about such change, because it changed quite a lot the strategies that you could apply in the opponent turn with these summoner things. That can be control the objective, could be the way to prevent charges, for example, to other units that you want to preserve, or so on. It could be a lot of things. Also being able to make that you can deploy in certain ways, so that in your turn you can then move and charge and so on. So you have to pay quite a lot of attention, because this could be simply said, but it's a great change, so pay quite a lot of attention. Another change, it's about the Walker Zombies. Here the change has been quite big, because the ability is the same, but now it makes that each time a mod in this unit is slain by an attack made with a melee weapon, if that mod is within 3 inch of that attack unit, roll a dice. Not anymore all the unit. So you can't make anymore that you can simply make that you remove the mods from the back or from other parts, and because it's massive, then you inflict the opponent the damages. So you have a range that you can apply such things. I think that it's perfect suit, because it was too much before. Still, it's an important change, so you have to pay quite a lot of attention about such things. Then had the Stormcast 10, Cities of Sigma and Andtor skin that has not been changed, but I'll explain right now about them. Stormcast Eternals that see 2 changes. The first one is about the Thunderbolt Volley command ability that you can find in the unique enhancements, the command abilities, at page 111, and it's the same text. There is only a specific particular that you have to remember, and the text is the same, so you can use this command ability once per battle in your hero phase. The command can only be used by a friendly knight to a unit wholly within 12 inch of them, or by a friendly lord or draconic to a unit wholly within 18 of them. The unit that receives the command must be a friendly Justicar or Angelos, But here is the difference. That unit is not reinforced. This is missing in the original, so you can't have a reinforced unit, but only a normal one, so the basic one. And as usual, that unit can shoot in that phase. This is the final effect. But the unit can't, it must not be reinforced. Then we have about the Stormdrake guard. So at page 178 of the English Codex, Battle of the Stormcast Eternals, and it's about the Draconic Onslaught that has been changed. So now it's not anymore to be having a range or to be having to roll a dice, but it's automatically change the Draconic Onslaught ability to once per battle. In your charge phase, you can say that this unit will unleash its Draconic Onslaught. If you do so, you can reroll charge rolls for this unit in that phase. So automatically, and you do it. So it's quite different from everything else that we have seen about this before, but it's a completely renewed way to play such units. So quite interesting. And then we have Cities of Sigmar with Living City that change the strike then melt away battle trait to you can use this command ability at the end of your shooting phase. If you do so, pick one friendly Living City unit that shot in that phase and is more than an inch from any enemy unit and is wholly within 18 inches of a friendly Living City hero, and that unit can make a normal move, it cannot run, but it cannot finish that move within 9 inches of any enemy unit. A unit cannot benefit from this command ability more than once per phase. So it's really quite interesting, because if you think about it's a way that you make that you can eventually move, shoot, and then move away, so that you can really make that you can stay in the range for certain weapons and then move away from the enemy units that could charge, for example, in their own next turn or so on. So it's a strategic one to think about.
About the Daughters of Cain. That's it, to remove the sentence from the Crash Arm battle tactic if 2 or more of those units are witch, as or sister of slaughters, score 1 additional victory points, and remove this sentence from the Tide of Blade battle tactic. So if 2 or more of those units are witch, as score 1 additional victory point.
And then have the new ones about the Luminate Realm Lords, so that there is the Great Nation of Elon. So change the Gale of Killing Shaft rule to in your shooting phase, when you pick a friendly Elon unit to shoot, you can say that it will be unleash a Gale of Killing Shaft. If you do so in that phase, you can add 1 to hit rolls and wound rolls for that unit's missile weapon, but the unit can only target enemy units within 6 inches of it. So it can be quite interesting if you're going to apply such rule. So nice, I think. So pay attention about being able to use. The Grand Alliance Destruction can see the most of the change, because there's been added a lot of things. So we had the Orruk War Clans that add the following battle tactics. So it's really quite nice. Sneak up, you complete this tactic if at the end of the turn every friendly Cruel Boys unit is within 3 inches of any terrain feature and is more than 3 inches from all enemy units. So you have to pay attention about such, because every friendly Cruel Boys, but at the same time could be quite easy to do. They had that's out for now, so you can complete this tactic if at the end of the turn 2 or more friendly Iron Jaw units are within 3 inches of the center of battlefield. This it's I think quite simple to realize, so it would be one of the main chosen. Then we have something that we see before, because we have the Cruel Boys, so change the first instance of the Dirty Tricks battle trait after the player has received the starting command points, but before the start of the first turn. You can pick 2 different dirty tricks to employ during the battle, always nice. You have Grinning Blades, change the out of the midst ability with friendly greening blades units are visible to enemy models that are not visible to enemy models that are more than 12 inches away from them. So it's like a lookout, technically. Then we had the bone splitters. So change the spirit of Gorkamorka battle trait to if the modified hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon by a friendly bone splitter unit is 6. The attacker score 2 hits on the target instead of 1, so it makes explode. Make a wound roll and save roll for each hit. Then we have again something that we have seen before. So we had this one called Shaman and Potcrots that remove these text from the potion. So you have to pay attention that you have to take out this, it's not anymore valid. So instead of attempting to spell and then the spell or cast any spell with this ability in that phase, you have to remove this part. Had then good repats, so change the Scar Tactics ability to subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapon by enemy units that are not heroes or monsters that target this unit. So I think that could be interesting. They have something related about the Gloomspite kits that see new facts related. Here we can see that Gloomspite kits continue to have out and in facts, but it's okay. Anyway, we have Squig Herd. Change the Squig Gun Wild ability to each time a cave squig in this unit flees as a result of a failed Battlescroll test. Before that mod is removed from play, roll a dice. On a 3+, you can pick up the closest enemy unit within 9 inches of that mod. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If multiple units are tied to be closest within 9 inches of it, you can pick which suffers the mortal wound. I think that it's always quite nice. Sons of Behemoth, make that the bosses the Stomp Core Battalion, change the battalion ability to Unified and Magnified instead of Unified or Magnificent. So it's really quite important change because it makes you both have such option and not one or the other one, so it's an important one. Well, then the Frostcargers Core Battalion, always of the Sons of Behemoth, that changed the battalion ability to Unified and Swift instead of Unified or Swift, as we've seen before. So again, change that you have both of such abilities instead of only one of these. So I think that it's really quite interesting about. And then had the change of points. About the points, we can find a lot of changes, and mainly all, or better, most of the armies has seen a decrease of point. This is valid for the Dr. Kane, for the Stormcast Satanas, that all the models have seen again a change of points. We have about the Fazley, an increase of point, are one of the few armies that has seen all increase of points. Also the Adonate Deepkin has seen all decrease on point about. Also the Luminate Realm Lords are in such a way. The Sivernet 2. The Seraphon, this make me a little crazy, because the Seraphon are one of the newest Battleton that has been released, and okay, perfectly okay, that has seen quite a lot of decrease, and mainly of these ones are units that I play with, so I'm glad about, except for the Saurus Carnotaurus on Carnosaurus, because I play it, but okay. But anyway, this is something that it make you reflect, because this has seen a really great change. The new units that are, for example, the Agadon Lancer has seen 20 point decreasing, the Stagadon Shift 30 point, the Saurus Blood on Carnosaur 25 points. They are really heavy change. The Stagadon 40 points. So it's something that I don't like, because it seemed that you didn't make quite a good change, better calculation about the points from the beginning. So okay, Saurus Guard has seen an increase of point. It's okay. Sincerely, I prefer the normal Saurus, but Saurus Warrior, but it's perfectly suited. So it's something that you have really to pay attention, because you can gain quite a lot of bonus or better points to use for other units and so on eventually. We have also about the Street of Darkness that has seen quite a lot of change of points in better for the ones that play with. Same for the Scaven that has seen all the units decrease, and by a great amount about. So there's been quite a lot of changes about, and it's really quite important. Obviously, it's up to you to decide
which ones you are interested about. For example, the Freshwater Kurz has seen quite a decrease point. About Nagash, I don't care too much, but it's perfect compared to all the other ones eventually. About the Royal Terrorghost and the Royal Dragon Zombie, I think that it continued to change, but it's amazing that has been brought such change because it's nice. Also about the Night Hunt, we have seen quite a lot of decrease on points. Think about the Legion Linder, 30 points. So it's a lot of things. There's been a lot of decrease of point about a lot of units, and it's really quite important because there are units, for example, the Black Coach that I like to play with. 20 points are a lot, so it's something that you have to think really. Also, the Tombashi, it's simple because it's 10 points, but it's useful. The Knightor Shroud, it's 10 points. The Knightor Shroud on a Terror Steed, 20 points. So a lot. Also the Chain Rasp and the Grimcast Reapers are 10 points decreasing, that are basic, are but nice. So it's important about this. And also about the Soulblight Gravelords. Okay, we've seen an increase of point about some unit, mainly related about the battle lines. So the Reworker Zombies, that Rattle, Skeleton, and the Dark Wolves. Okay, this it's not so great. Sincerely, okay. I don't like so much about the Rattle Skeleton, sincerely, I admit. But we can see a lot of decrease of point about, for example, the Tarot 60 point. Okay, it goes to the same about the Freshwater Kurz, same about the Zombie Dragon. So it's something that, or better, it's the opposite, because the Freshwater Kurz see the Tarot mean 260 points, instead it's the Zombie Dragon. I think that they make another fact that be changed the amount. Anyway, still, it's something that has seen quite a lot of change. Belladama Volga, it's perfect suited that it's 30 points more, because it's really crazy as abilities, so okay. And there are also other things. For example, some things that I wasn't waiting for, it's that the White King see an increase of point. And I don't think that it's really correct about this. But the Bloodseeker Palanquin I see 40 points less. Also the Common Throne I see a decrease on point, and I play 2 Common Throne usually, so it's quite a lot. And really, you have to pay quite a lot of attention about such. Sincerely, I don't like the Black Knights, because I can understand everything, but 20 points for them more, it's not correct, because they are better than before, but they can be really good only if they charge, and only if there is the White King on the Skeletal Steed. So it's something that it's not so great, I think, for a lot of points. The increasing. Also the Great Guard has seen an increase of point. Sincerely, there are techniques that I don't like too much. Also the Ogormorph Stripes has seen a lot of decrease on points. Also the Oracle War Crowns, the Sons of Behemoth. Okay, they are really expensive usually, but still a lot of decrease on point about this. So as you can see, there are a lot of things. For the Dust of Reapers, for example, I don't understand why the Carlos de Ferrari has seen an increase of point, but the Arc Carlos Santos has seen a decrease. It's no sense. The Mortisan Bone Shaper, okay, increase of points, but why? Because it's not so played. It's not so, okay, it's useful, but it's not so often played. And about the Mortisan Bone Suicide Reaper, okay, but still too expensive, because I don't play with this, and it's still, I mean, it's still costlier than the one that we see in the previous Battletome. So okay, the amount of point that the Godzilla Vesta has decreased, it's crazy, because 30 points. I'm glad, because I play 2 of them, but still it's a bit too much. The Morgastar Kai, the Morgastar Bingas, sincerely, they're still costing too much. They are improved, so perfectly, but still, I think that we see again a decrease about such. So there are things that I can't understand completely why they have been changed, because there are quite a lot of difference. So there are some things that you have to pay attention about. Also about the Endspec, we can see a lot of change of points, because we had the Orgast has seen discount, the Purple Son of Shaish with the new rules has seen a discount. You're not going to see the Purple Son of Shaish rules here, because that's been brought for new in the new Jana handbook, so it's useless to bring up here. But for example, the amount of cost that has to be about the Evervoid Pendulum and Chromatic
cogs, those ones I could understand, because for example the economatic cogs are really quite useful, even if not often they're used. But about the prismatic palisade, I don't find it so useful still. Okay, but anyway, as you can see, there has been quite a lot of change about the points. Remember that these are official ones, and so you have to pay attention, but can be changed also again in the future. And about the points, you can refer about such, or when it's updated on the app about Age of Sigmar from the Game Social, I suggest you to go to see about them, because the points are always available to see, so you'll not have a problem about not being able to find them. So this it's really quite something that you have really to think about, because there's been a lot of changes, and could be changed quite a lot your rooster. Because, for example, for my opinion, for example, in the Soulblight, I save at least 60 points. With 60 points, I can change quite a lot the structure of my rooster, because I can buy, for example, another space. I can buy another unit that I will not be able to buy, for example, because I need some points and so on. So it's something that you have to verify, or each thing that you are interested about. Also, for example, for my Soulblight Gravelords, I can change it, because I can save, for example, a lot of points with the part about the Coven Thrones, but I spend them for the Fractal Skeletons. So you have to pay attention about what you are going to play with, and now also the value, if some units are worth or not, based on the raising or decrease on point that are here. Anyway, from Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.